Welcome back to Fox 40 News at 11. I'm Sincere Tonsel. As we've been reporting, oral arguments today before justices on the highest court in the land could change a constitutional right women in this country have counted on for 48 years. Those arguments in a case out of Mississippi where abortions are banned after 15 weeks of pregnancy wrapped up about 2.5 hours ago. Earlier this hour, we spoke with the director of Californians for Life, one of the groups that wants to see Roe v. Wade reversed. In our continuing coverage of this issue, we're now joined live by the president and CEO of the Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California, Jody Hicks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
We know that groups of Californians are in their second day of a national prayer vigil about this hearing on Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health out of Mississippi. They're outside your location on 29th Street in Sacramento right now. Have patients still been able to get to their appointments? Have you had any reports of anyone being blocked from entering?
No, absolutely. Patients we have securities in place. Patients are getting the abortion care that they need and all of the other health care that they need at our health centers today and every day that we're open.
And we are getting some word from the Associated Press and other experts that are looking at the proceedings from this morning. And basically, everybody is saying all indications are that the justices, the conservative supermajority on the court, signaling what we have talked about in the past and the fact that Roe v. Wade will most likely be reversed. And if not that, severely pared down. What's your reaction after having those oral arguments and listening to that today?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree. After listening to the arguments today, it looks like these justices are poised to take away a constitutional and a fundamental right that people have had for some 50 years. So, I mean, I think we're frustrated and sad and all of the stages of grief as we look at really what is a right that will affect millions of women, tens of millions of women and people across the country as they are poised to lose a right that really is essential to their lives, their bodies, their futures, their autonomy, their decision-making autonomy, and you know, it wasn't a great day this morning to listen to people argue something that is set law. It's been law for like I said, 50 years, and nothing's changed except for new justices on the court.
We have visited several times about the Texas Heartbeat Act, which the Supreme Court declined to stay or reverse as it considered its merits. That law is a ban on abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. This Dobbs case is a ban after 15 weeks. At the core of what those who want to see these bans upheld and ultimately Roe overturned is the belief that this procedure takes away the rights of a second person, a person distinct from the mother. The law in Texas is named the Heartbeat Act because 6 weeks is when a heartbeat can be detected in a fetus. What do you have to say to those who say abortion violates the civil rights of a second person?
I mean, I think that this law has been tried. All of those arguments happened during Casey. They were rejected outright. The viability part of Roe is what is always has been set as what is logical, and when a person has a fundamental right to their liberties, which is their bodies, their decision making, their futures, that they have that right up until viability, and it's been the law of the land for 50 years, upheld again 30 years ago, and we think it's patently wrong to even entertain this discussion right now on something that's clearly unconstitutional.
The goal of those who oppose abortion is obviously to see it end across the country, but even if the Supreme Court strikes down Roe v. Wade, California law would preserve a right to abortion. After the Texas law went into effect, clinics here started seeing 2 to 3 patients arrive from that state for procedures every week. So really, the right just ends for those who don't have the means to go elsewhere for what they want, right?
Well, that's absolutely true. We know that this disproportionately affects, as it always has, access to healthcare and certainly access to abortion. Disproportionately affects people of color, people with low incomes, people that don't have the means to travel. This will put that burden on, we're looking at 36 million people that will be affected. And it's really heartbreaking. We've seen the stories coming out of just one state and the impacts that has had not just on people in Texas, but on people in other neighboring states that are trying to serve those patients as they travel. So it has a devastating impact on people and their healthcare, their very lives.
The most recent polls put support for abortion in this country from 63 to about 58% of the population. Is Planned Parenthood staffing up, creating a deeper network to handle what's believed would be an onslaught of patients if Roe disappears after 48 years?
Planned Parenthood is doing everything we can to prepare and ensure that we'll be taking care of patients, whatever state you call home. If you're here in California, it is partially as frustrated as I am today. I couldn't be more proud of California. It's why we put together really quickly with our allies and stakeholders the Future of Abortion Council to ensure that we're doing everything we can in the state, along with policymakers, to make sure we're doing the right investments, we're removing barriers and ensuring that we're preparing to see patients. As we know, there was a report that said there'll be a 3,000% increase in people from out of state that will find California as their closest clinic should Roe v. Wade fall. And we are doing everything we can to prepare for that.
All righty, Jody Hicks with Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California. Thank you so much for your insight this morning.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me.